Well, it's Boxing Day, and we seem to be doing a whole lot better than last year. There is
a reindeer leaking
out of my ass. So you've caught me on this Boxing Day in my lovely penguin pyjamas. I got these pyjamas about 2 years ago in Oxford Street, and I just love them because they're so sort of cosy and they're such good quality. And I wear them so much, and then I'm just forced to wash them because otherwise they just get so smelly. They're a great pair of pyjamas for Christmas. Oh, look at that spot. That's from eating too many peanuts and mince pies. One of the things I find most frustrating about Christmas is that you have just a few short days in which to cram all these Christmas films in before it becomes bad luck. And that's quite a challenge because there are so many really Christmas films that you have to watch, you know, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, because they have a really strong Christmas message. And so it's really difficult to get them all in. Because of course, because basically you're at work until Christmas Eve. I was really lucky this year because I got Christmas Eve off, so I had some more time to get some of those films in. But most of the time, you know, you're working till Christmas Eve, and so there's really very little time to watch them. So when I came back from my mum's house yesterday, I literally crammed all these really Christmassy things in before it was too late. I watched Blackadder's Christmas Carol, I watched Mr. Bean Christmas Special, and I watched Arthur's Perfect Christmas, which is not to be confused with Arthur's Christmas, which is a film. This was Arthur, the CBBC TV show Christmas Special. And then this morning I woke up and immediately started watching The Polar Express. I was watching The Polar Express and my cat was just sitting there glued on me. She just had her eyes staring at me throughout the whole thing. I think one of the main reasons I like The Polar Express is Tom Hanks. He's just amazing in it. You know, the voice just comes out at you in this film. And the role of the conductor is just, you know, they make him such a warm, sort of friendly kind of guy. So that's why I like The Polar Express. Granted, there are some moments of that film where you think, God, are we on LSD or something? You know, what the hell's going on? But most of it is quite lovely. So Christmas Day for me started about 2 o'clock in the morning, because I woke up and I had a shower, and then I realised I'd woken up really quite early, and so I did some more of my Christmas puzzle. I was so tempted. I bought this, you know, I was like, oh my god, I shouldn't buy any more puzzles because I've got so many to do. But then I saw this lovely Christmas one and it was reduced, and I thought, oh, I've got to have it. So I bought that one. And then like I waited till about 4:30 and my taxi came, and it was really annoying because I couldn't pay for it in advance. I had to pay for it in the cab, and the cab did not accept card payments for some mad reason, so I had to pay in cash. And so the day before I'd gone to Asda and like got all this change, all these pound coins, but I'd actually spent too much money, and I didn't save myself any notes, and so I had all these pound coins. And the guy got to £13 in the taxi, and I was like, oh my god, I haven't got any more money. So I said, oh, can we just stop here? And he was like, oh no, I'll take you down there. And I gave him the £14, and I think he was happy with it, so that was that. Then it was like 4:45 at this point, and then I went into my mum's house, and she'd made like this bed for me on the sofa, so I slept down. But it was really difficult to sleep because I put this sleeping tablet in this like lid of a bottle. So that because I knew I'd had trouble getting to sleep. So, but it like melted a little bit in this thing because there was still some water in it, so it like dissolved a bit, and so it wasn't really that good at all. And then, and then I just sort of slept there until everybody woke up. I actually woke to the smell of bacon. And then we had our traditional Christmas breakfast, which we have every year, which is a fry up. And then we started opening presents. So the first present I opened was this sort of cup and saucer with like a little cat hanging off it. That present actually no longer exists because it got smashed. Somebody knocked it off the table and the cat that was hanging off broke, and the saucer got chipped. And that was tremendously sad because it was a very lovely, nice looking piece of cup and saucer, and it was really lovely to look at, but it got destroyed. So as I may have mentioned before, I had to kind of invent things for people to get me. And when that task is put upon me, I kind of just go for big finish, because, you know, yes, it may take me half a year to get round to listening to it, to find the time, but eventually, years later, I will get round to listening to them. So I went on the website and I thought this one looked quite good with Christopher Eccleston. You know, he was the sort of doctor before it all went wrong. I mean, David Tennant wasn't too bad. Matt Smith. Then we got to Peter Capaldi, and then it just went. So you know, and now it's just. Do we even want to watch it when Jodie Whittaker goes? I don't know. People have asked me that. They say, "Will you watch it when that foulness leaves Doctor Who, that stain on Doctor Who when she leaves? Will you watch it?" I kind of think no, because you know. There's so much damage that's been done. Is it repairable? Russell T Davies may be able to save it, but the damage is still done in places. So that's what makes you think, oh, do I want? I mean, it'd make me depressed, won't it? So I don't know. Maybe we'll see. And then the other one I saw that John Coleshaw, who's you know sort of famous in the Doctor Who world for. Mocking Tom Baker and doing little spoofs and parodies of Tom Baker. He does the voice of the Brigadier, so I thought that one looked rather interesting, so I put that one down. And also Planet of the Jurassics, which I didn't get, which apparently is not a CD, it's a download, so that's why I didn't get that one. My brother got my cat all these special biscuits, and Annabelle's on the floor now, tearing the packet apart. I also got this lovely cat tin, which contains these very delicious biscuits. My partner's present we did like 10 days before Christmas, and because, well, I think I couldn't wait any longer. There's a snooker table, which I got him, and then he absolutely went totally nuts on me. Spent so much. Don't even want to think about how much he spent on me. He gave me an entire hamper with luxury items like venison slices and duck slices, and there were biscuits in there. The coffee itself was £10, and so was the Earl Grey. Earl Grey is my favourite cup of tea. And what else was in there? They weren't mince pies. They are luxury mincemeat tarts, so not mince pies. And also in the hamper there was a bottle of Bordeaux. And I think that was everything that was in there. And then he got me this board game, which is essentially Snakes and Ladders, but it's like a drinking game with shots and everything, which I really wanted to play with my brothers the day after I got it. And I was going to invite them round and have them round and we'd all have a good drink. But, And if that wasn't enough...
Now, if that's not enough...
He got me an entire puzzle and also a whole stocking full of things. And one of the interesting things he got me in the stocking was one of those L plates which you put on cars when you're learning to drive, which is really quite sweet because, you know, he thought about it and, you know, he knew that I was thinking about learning to drive. Well, I was thinking about learning to drive, but then I had the holiday and then I had Christmas and now I'm totally and utterly in debt to myself. So we don't know how long that's going to be, probably another year before I have the money together to be able to afford to do driving lessons, but we'll see. And after all that, he still got me an ice crusher, which basically takes ice cubes and crushes them. One of the things I was most looking forward to on Christmas Day was watching these tapes. My mum had somehow found these extra tapes that we'd not seen before, ever. And they contained new footage of stuff that we recorded when we were children. This was around 2005, 2006, when we owned this camera. And I was really looking forward to it because I love nostalgia. I love watching old footage of us and just seeing how I've changed and the differences between that point in time to this point in time. I just find that stuff really fascinating. So I think out of the 4 discs that we watched yesterday, only about 2 of them contained new stuff because the other 2 were duplications. Because my mum practically just did them all. All the tapes we have, she threw them there and got them done. And the new stuff was basically just Toby doing stuff in front of a camera, like singing and dressing up in drag and stuff like that. And I said to myself, you know, I'm going to go at the end of this one because my migraine's really bad now. I must get back home and take that tablet. But no, they insisted that we stay for the 4th one, which was completely pointless because it was a duplication and we'd already seen it hundreds of times before. So, and my dad was going to take me home, and I could see him laughing at this video, and I thought, well, I'm just going to stay to the end now because, you know, he's enjoying himself. I don't want to take that away from him. I think most of my presents were received and enjoyed. I think there was one present that someone didn't like, but you know, it was that present was actually just like a little extra something which I got in because to even it up so everyone got the same amount. And so now it's 11:30, and I'm just sort of sorting all my Christmas presents out and finding places for them to go. Very difficult. But then again, if you can find a place for a bloody great massive snooker table, then I'm sure there's places you can find to put things away. I got quite a few candles actually. I don't know where on earth I'm going to put those. I'd like to hope that this whole week we just eat Christmas food, because I've got peanuts and cheeses and mince pies, and I'd like to enjoy some of Christmas in this flat, because this is where we live. And I'd like to enjoy, you know, just the niceties of Christmas in this flat. So hopefully this week, we'll, instead of dinners, we'll just be eating things like cheese and crackers and mince pies and peanuts and sweets and chocolates, and just gorge on the joys of Christmas. So I'll probably have lunch in a few minutes, and then I'll probably watch another film. I had to get rid of Santa Claus 1 and 2 because there just isn't the time to watch it, and they're really hardcore Christmas ones, so I had to get rid of them for this year. But then I think that's kind of a good thing, because like, it means the next time I watch it, it won't seem so familiar. So I'll probably end up watching something like Home Alone. I do like Home Alone. You can tell because I've got Home Alone figures, and I've got Home Alone pyjamas, and I've got Home Alone on digital download. So you can, you know I love it. I like Home Alone 1, 2 and 3. I don't like 4. And I don't like this. I watched the trailer for this like new one that's coming out, but I think that's shit. So I probably won't watch it. And if there's time, I might watch another Christmas film. I have this whole folder on my external hard drive, which is just called Christmas. And it basically contains lots of Christmas films, lots of Christmas TV specials, and just like Christmas clips. There are clips of Michael McIntyre talking about Christmas.
We put ourselves through this annual bush tucker trial. I have no idea. We force ourselves to eat these squashed up vegetable fart balls on this one day of the year.
There's an advert with Anton Deck, which I enjoyed a couple of years ago, which is on there.
Spicy prawns, party snacks, panettone baked from scratch, crackling turkey. It's delicious. Our own chefs inspire the dishes.
And also there's an audio clip from the Nativity play, which my church does, which I think is excellent.
Oh, and look at that big star up there, children. Can you see that big star? It's as though God has just flung it into space. You want to go and see all the children. Children, would you like them to come and see you?
Yeah, it's a whole lot of random stuff. I'll say this last thing before the camera dies. Yeah, and then I'll go off to my mum's house, but I'm not going by taxi today. I'm going by, I'll walk there, which I think is good because I need to burn off the weight from all the food I ate yesterday. So that'll be really good. And the battery is dying, so goodbye. My lovely penguin pyjamas. Oh shit.